Hey everyone, okay, so today I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on this new product, which is called a liquid powder, and it is by Fasali, and it is their brand new product. Now, when I first got this, I didn't quite read the instructions, and what happened is I thought, this doesn't work. You can't put this liquid over your makeup and it not destroy your makeup. Turns out that's not how you do it. So this is what you would call a preventative product. So for those of you with very oily skin or those of you seeking a very matte finish, this is to be applied under your makeup or alone on bare skin. You cannot really use this for touch-ups during the day. But for those of you who are seeking a very matte finish or more longevity, and you're finding that no matter what you do, even with primers, it's not really working, this could be the option. So this is a liquid powder, and you dispense a couple of drops like so into your palm or finger, and then you apply it to the skin. So we're going to just slap it on everywhere, and this has a mint fragrance to it, which I happen to love in lip gloss, but on the face it's a bit strange because I love mint lip gloss. You get that sort of minty feeling on the lips. Anyway, you just rub this into the skin and it goes matte. It is completely matte. Now, for those of you thinking, well, can I use this with the original sort of Fasali oil, which I'm a massive fan of? Not really, because the two then don't really work well together. You've got one producing a lot of oil, one trying to soak up the oil. They don't really marry very well together. Once this is done, and it works pretty instantaneously, and it is incredibly matte. I'm actually going to pop a little bit more on just for sort of shits and giggles, and I'm then going to apply a foundation over it. Now you can use a liquid, a powder, any medium that you wish, but if you could feel the skin, it is like there is no moisture left in the skin at all. Now this is, let me just read a little blurb I've got here. Does it say anything? With purifying French pink clay to balance oil production and witch hazel to tighten and the look of large pores. So we're just going to pop on a little bit of foundation so I don't look quite so ghastly. So I'm going to be using my number 12 brush. This is the Goss number 12 brush. Really good for contouring and bronzing, but it's amazing at buffing in foundation. And I love using this because you can get a really sort of good shoe shine approach. And then I just buff it in. Now, when you're using this product, and you may have noticed, there can be like a white powdery residue if you over apply the product, which I did. You can just buff that off with a brush. It works perfectly well. So I'm just buffing this in, and I'm actually using a mineral foundation because I'm not going anywhere. Actually I am. I'm going to the gym. So we'll see how long this holds up. I already know because I've been using it for the past 5 days. So I'm buffing all of this in, including my red upper lip and chin. And I'm using shade medium in Bare Minerals. So I just like to buff it in, not using, ridiculous amounts of product. But if this is coming through on the camera, it is ultra, ultra matte. Now, you will not get 24 hours wear out of this. You don't get 24 hours wear out very much. But what you do get is very matte skin for a longer period of time than you're used to. And it really does hold up really, really well. I look quite pale in this light. Let me put some colour on. Buff all that big old red nose between my eyebrows. So I'm going to use my airbrush to apply blusher with, and I'm just going to use Apricot by Bobbi Brown. And you know me with blusher, I like to go in this sort of weird C shape, and I really like to make sure the bridge of the nose is really pink, and then I blend it in afterwards, and the temples. The reason being is because, as many of you know, many years ago, 20 years ago, I know, I don't look a day over 12, so how is that possible? I was sat down in TGI Fridays, and there was this gentleman opposite me, and I had the most awful skin at the time. I was having terrible acne trouble. And there was this guy in front of me, and he would have been in his late 20s, and I would have been in my very early 20s. And he had the most beautiful skin, and his nose and his cheeks and his temples were just slightly sunburnt. He looked like he'd been away skiing, and I never forgot. He looked so healthy, and I always, after that, and I don't care for the tanning too much, although I'm going to review one shortly, I always loved that look, the pink sort of around this area, and the nose and the temples. I always fell in love with it since then, and that's why I always do it, particularly on men and women. It just looks so healthy and natural. I like to overdo it, but each their own. But there you go. If you do suffer from very oily skin, and this would be a pretty tempting product, I liked it so much that I'm going to order some more, because this one was sent to me, by the way, just so you know, this one was sent, but I'll be ordering about 4 more bottles, because I think for the way I approach makeup, I think it's incredibly useful for me. I like to use very minimal foundation, so I think it's really, really useful, and it's a fabulous product. Thanks for watching. Info down there, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.